kick it off with cock of the walk. Would you say this is the easiest cock of the walk you've ever done?
Slam dunk cock of the walk. JP, would you like to take a guess as who the cock of the walk is?
I don't have to guess, and I hope people wouldn't struggle with this guess either. This is the story of the NBA season so far.
Correct. Bam Adebayo, not known for his scoring, but faced off against the Wizards a couple nights ago and dropped 83 points, passing Kobe for second all time. Wilt still has 100. And it has stirred up a lot of controversy about should it count? Was it ethical? Was it unethical? Should he have stopped at 81 to like just tie Kobe as like the ultimate like nod to Kobe? As people have pointed out, that's definitely what Jason Tatum would have done. But regardless, phenomenal game. Yes, he shot 40 free throws. Yes, they were fouling late to get him more time and get him more shots. But also the Wizards were like triple teaming him. It was just, if someone scores 83 points, I don't really care how they score 83 points.
Right.
It's an insane accomplishment, and it deserves to be celebrated.
Yeah.
So congrats to Bam Adebayo. I don't know if you have thoughts or if y'all disagree and think that it shouldn't count, because there's a lot of people that are like, I'm putting an asterisk on it. And I think a lot of that honestly has to do with the fact that the way Kobe is revered in the NBA space, and then not only is he revered, but he also passed away in a tragic way, which then adds kind of to that reverence and desire to uphold his legacy and not tarnish it. But I mean, if I was in Bam's shoes, I'm trying to break the record, because I think that's the ultimate, like, if Kobe's one of my idols, I want to break one of my idols' records. That's one of the coolest things you can do. But thoughts on his performance, either of y'all?
Do you disagree, JP? I'm just curious, because I agree with Jack. I am 100% behind. Like, I'm a competitive person, too competitive at times. I'm not necessarily an athletic person. That's why I did not play sports in high school, but I'm a very competitive person in the sports that I do play now. And so, yeah, if I was out there competing and I had the opportunity to do something historic, I'm going to try and do that. And I think it's ridiculous to, like, blame Bam for the way the game played out, right? I mean, the reason they were up so large is because he was playing a very good game. And if you I've seen some of the highlights of everyone shows the ones he missed. Like, wow, of course you're going to go score 83 if you put up shots like this. But then, like, the shots that he made, it's like, okay, like, he had a great night. And, there's, like, I'm a Twitter NBA fan. So, like, most of this NBA stuff I see, I did watch the last bit of that game because, like, I saw, like, oh, my gosh, I want to see how this ends. I watched it with Jack. But, I've seen clips of Bam telling his teammates, don't foul, don't foul. So it's like there's just – you're not going to be like come to a decision. It's not like this is there's a right or wrong. People who think that it was a mistake and what do they call it? Like, not immoral, but like
Unethical.
Unethical. Thank you. It's like the people who think it was an unethical 83 points. Like, they're gonna think that, and you can't convince them otherwise.
Well, at some point, like, to score 83 points, you have to at some point make a conscious decision of like, I'm gonna try and score as many as I can.
Right.
Like, you don't just like waltz your way into 80 plus points.
Yeah.
When Kobe scored 81, there was not just waltzing into 81. When Wilt scored 100, it was not just, oh, I had a pretty good night shooting, and then you look up at you look at the score sheet after, and it's like, oh wow, I had 100. It's like, no, you knew.
And I'm not a huge Barstool fan, but sometimes there are some Barstool guys that I like, and there was one who tweeted like a breakdown, like the final 11 minutes of that Kobe 81 game. It was like no one else on that team shot. Like, Kobe took the last 17 shots. Kobe did this, Kobe did that. It's like they were up 10 with 3 minutes left or whatever, and he could have come out. That's not an exact. I don't know if that's the exact numbers, but that's paraphrasing. Like, the Lakers, maybe to a lesser extent, but I mean, Kobe did kind of the same thing where he's like, I'm going to score as many points as possible until the end of this game. So, what are your thoughts, JP?
I don't have it as unethical whatsoever. I thought it was quite ethical. One of the biggest takeaway for me is, everyone's, sadly, in today's age, everyone's first reaction to anything is to hate it first.
Yep.
But if we look a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and you keep going, the further you get away from March 10th, 2026, Wizards Heat game, the less and less people will care about the ethicality of it because they won't remember anymore.
Correct.
They'll just remember they scored 83 points. And that will stand the test of time. 83 will stand the test of time, not the amount of free throws he made or all of that. And I also think anyone who thinks it was unethical didn't really watch the fourth quarter either, because the dude it looked like me when I used to play in my brother's practices, my younger brother, who's 3 years younger than me. And
Yeah.
I was like in sixth grade, and he and his team were in third grade. And I was playing like 3-on-5, and they would just send 4 guys at me, but it didn't matter. I was dribbling through them. I was getting by them. I was getting fouled by them. That's what that's what it looked like in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, if you're gonna be
And
mad at anyone, be mad at the Wizards.
yeah, Bam was dominating, and that my two biggest takeaways were Bam was getting what he wanted when he wanted it, which was just, I think, an incredible showing of his play. His career high before this game is less than half of the points he scored. His career high was 41 points before this game.
Yeah.
And he drops 83. So a shocker of a night is, I think, the biggest thing. I think a lot of people realized it once it kind of word got around, once he got to 60 points. That's when I realized, because Real drops the notification of when a dude is on like a 40 bomb or a 50 bomb.
Yeah.
And I see Bam Adebayo's 60 bomb with 50 seconds left in the third quarter still. I'm like, holy crud.
Yeah, a little double take
this
there.
What is going on here? First you go check and make sure it's real. So you check Real, the app, and then you check ESPN, and okay, they got the same score there. It's real. And I watched the fourth quarter. It was a showing from Bam. It's a bad showing from the Wizards. I think the other takeaway was, in watching the highlights of the entire game and then watching the entire fourth quarter, it's hilarious to me how the NBA is just a bunch of hoopers, and in most given nights there's not, especially in the regular season, there's not a lot of defense played, and it's really just guys showing off their bags.
Yeah.
Like, the Wizards scored 130 points in this game. The Wizards are terrible, but it made guys like Trey Johnson and Alex Sarr at the beginning of the game is right there on pace with Bam.
Yeah, they were going back and forth.
It shows you how talented and how talent rich that the league is, that one of the worst teams in the NBA, the Wizards, can give up 83 points in a night, but they can also have like 4 guys look like they are prime Kobe Bryant. Like Bud Carrington was dropping some buckets. Trey Johnson looked phenomenal. I thought that was pretty hilarious watching it back. But I have no problems with the ethicality of it. I fully agree with you, Sanders. Like, if you're in a position like that and you have a chance to go break Kobe's record, you're going to go do it. I mean, literally everyone who's ever played 2K my career has done it themselves. So I feel like half the NBA fans and that half the world is like hypocritical in that case, because
They didn't stop at 81 in 2K.
Yeah, we've all scored 120 points in a my career game because we can. Like, we didn't stop to hold up against Wilt Chamberlain's record. Bam's gonna have a chance to do in real life. Let him do it.
Yeah.
But slam dunk, cock of the walk without question. I got no problems with the ethicality. Like, anyone who pushes back on the free throws, I hate to break it to you, but that's basketball. Basketball is pick and roll. It's help defense. It's getting to the free throw line. Get your free points. Those are 3 fundamentals of the game.
Yeah.
Hit the square and on a layup, it'll go in more often than not. That's a fundamental of the game. And so, yeah, he shot a ton of free throws, but he shot a ton of free throws because they couldn't stop him. They couldn't guard him, and they had no choice but to foul him. And even I think he had 4 and 1s that night too. So even when they did foul him, it didn't matter. I got no problems with the ethicality. I thought it was phenomenal. I'm really curious to see. And I think they play again.
They play tonight.
Play their first game tonight, so we'll see. Everyone's
the
gonna be
Bucks.
watching what is
what he
his
does.
score line's gonna
He's
be.
probably gonna score like 28 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a phenomenal showing from Bam. I think the other thing would be give me some flowers for when I picked Bam Adebayo as one of my 4 players on my 5-man lineup when we did it.
Yeah.
That was a question of the week, I think, last
was.
year.
Yeah, it was.
Good pick. Everyone's giving
Pick
Khalil
4.
Ware his flowers for putting Bam in his NBA
Yes.
Mount Rushmore.
What was it?
Also.
What was the question of the week? It was like you and 4 players.
Yeah, you and four NBA players.
I think it was
let's
me,
say
Alex
you,
Caruso, you, Alex
Yeah,
Caruso, and then 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You won't get tired. You'll play at your same stamina, and then you play an 82-game season.
And you play like
Who's your
average
lineup
starter
that
minutes.
you pick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say about this is, Twitter was very fun to be on in the aftermath as people debated it, and one of the funniest things I saw was like all the quote was like, all the old heads are going to be like 81's greater than 83 because context matters. But the minute you say 4 is greater than 6 because context matters, they lose their crap. And I was like, I don't agree necessarily with, either side. I don't really have an opinion, but I thought that was really funny. He's like calling out the people who are like, man, the game was just different. Like,
Yeah.
81 is still greater than 83 because context is important. And people are like, well, what about LeBron's 4
Four
being greater than 6
6?
because context, like,
Sure.
the NBA now is more talented than it was. It's like, no, 6 is still better than 4. Math makes sense. Math is important.
Yeah. Twitter was great, and it was just wrapping up a fantastic performance. And it's just so fantastic to think about the fact that Bam will be like up there as one of the best scoring performances ever. And this is not me disrespecting Bam. He's a fantastic player, but he's like a defensive first guy normally. And so everyone else that's kind of up there are like, oh, yeah, okay, this makes sense. And then you see Bam. It's just too perfect. But, yeah, easiest cock of the walk in the segment's history. Going on to the winner chicken dinner. I'm going to give it to we're going to stay NBA here. I'm giving it to the Clippers. Why? Well, they had a horrid start to their season. Started 6-21, awful basketball. And, Ty Lue's getting up in press conferences and being like, we still believe in this team. Like, we just need to go like 35-15 or whatever he said to get back. We can get above 500. And everyone's kind of clowning on me. They're like, y'all are washed. Like, it's over. Kawhi isn't healthy. Y'all are literally 6-21. What are you talking about? Well, last night they won to bring their record to 33-32, so they're back above 500. Ty Lue called his shot. The roster's seen a bunch of turnover, but Kawhi's back healthy and playing at a top 5 level in the NBA. He's hooping right now. Darius Garland has come in. He's just started playing in after the James Harden trade. I think he's probably played like 4 games at this point. They're still trying to kind of bring him back from an injury. He's looked good. Benedict Matherin's given them some good minutes after the Zubats trade. It's very impressive that the stick-togetherness, I guess, that they were all able to. I guess not all. James Harden asked to get traded out. Everyone besides James Harden kind of saw the vision, were able to lock in. Kawhi has just been so good. Very impressive to get back above 500 this quickly too. There's still 15-ish games left or something, and they got a little wiggle room still. But yeah, that's my winner chicken dinner. Shout out the Clippers.
Yeah, and shout out me for forgetting to fix that graphic. When I post the video,
Yeah,
y'all
they do
won't
not get
see
shouted
this.
out for.
But I made 2 graphics. I made the Bam Adebayo graphic, and I made the Clippers graphic, and I forgot to change the bottom text to say started 6-21, and now they're above 500.
Yep.
Instead, it said Los Angeles Clippers scored 83 points on Tuesday night.
Yeah, if they scored 83 points, which they
That
did
would not be good.
But it would not be good.
That's more
pretty
rotten
bad.
egg material. That's more
Yeah.
rotten egg material.
Exactly. But yeah, shout out the Clippers. Anything you want to add there, either of y'all? If not, I'll go on to the rotten egg or loser of the week.
Take it away.
Yeah.
Cool. I had 2 for rotten egg. And I'll just briefly the one that didn't make the cut because I just have to mention this. The USA's manager, Mark DeRosa, for thinking that the U.S. had qualified to advance to the quarterfinals before their final game and resting guys and then proceeding to lose to Italy is kind of an all-time horrible moment. and now the MLB has deleted footage of that. And he claims he knew that they had not auto-qualified, and he just misspoke. Really bad all around. Very comical.
Yeah, is this the interview you're talking about? Where he says there's a couple false
Yes.
narratives out there. I was well aware that we had to win the game based on all scenarios. They went in 2-0, we went in 2-0. The only issue there is that in trying to fix it,
He made another mistake.
made another mistake because we
Which
were both,
that is a more innocent mistake.
That's a
but
more
you just,
innocent mistake.
After the first one,
exactly.
you can't do
You got to be perfect.
it.
So
Correct. It's really funny.
it's just not a good look.
The U.S. advanced to the quarterfinals. Shout out Italy for coming through for us. So I guess no harm, no foul. My real rotten egg, though, the tournament bubble for sucking is my rotten egg, and that's the NCAA tournament bubble. It's a historically weak bubble, and it's funny because since it's historically weak, there's like all these teams that are somehow still in it, but they're not very good. But we really shouldn't be surprised that then these teams that are still in it but aren't very good are just like all losing their first game in conference tournaments or like lost a bunch of games down the stretch. Like, Texas actually kind of looked like they'd gotten off the bubble because it was so weak. And then they lose their last 2 games, and then they lose their opener in the tournament yesterday. Cincinnati's on the bubble. They lost yesterday trying to fight their way back in. I could give West Virginia was on the bubble. They lost yesterday in their first game. It's just awful. It's a horrible bubble.
Yep.
I love March Madness, and it'll still be so fun. But I'm already looking forward, and I think it may end up being another year like last year where it's pretty chalky. We'll get a lot of JP texts that say, "Where is the madness? This is just March." Once again, there'll still be so many great games, I'm sure, but I just don't know about Cinderella's, considering how weak the bubble is. So, shame on you, all the teams on the bubble, I guess. We're safely in. I'm not saying shame on you to A&M, but that's my rotten egg. Anything there? If not, we can get to college baseball.
No, I agree. It does appear like it's going to be an unfortunately weak bubble. And, this is after last year, not the conspiracy theorists, but the people who are like pessimists were like, oh, well, this is just the new normal because of NIL, because, they tried to blame a bunch of different things. And I feel like the majority of people were just like, it's 1 year. Let's have a little patience. But if we get that for a second year, I feel like the people who buy into that theory the number will increase. And then the questions will start to fly around, well, how do we fix it? What's the real problem? It's just going to be something to keep track of for the next 3 to 5 years. And it's also going to be weird because the state of how everything works now is going to be different in a couple of years because it just is so fluid and so changing. So who knows? We'll see. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be another disappointing year as far as the March Madness goes. Although apparently Grand Canyon, right? They've got a guy. Is it a sign that things are bad that we're already trying to pick the guys before March Madness even starts? Because I feel like it doesn't happen until the Thursday night, and it's like, oh my gosh, this guy just shot 80% from 3. He had 27 points, and he just beat a 3 seed.
Well, people always try and predict.
Okay, I haven't.
You typically never remember that because people don't predict right.
Right.
And then the joy is someone out of nowhere does it.
Right.
Or even you try and predict a guy, and then it's his teammate that is averaging 10 less points than him on the year.
Yeah.
Is the one that hits 7 threes and knocks off a team.
Yeah.
But there definitely are some times that people know kind of going in, there's some buzz around a guy. They may be it, and that sometimes they hit, but normally they don't.
Okay, I just don't remember them ever having people trying to guess, but I'm just on a different side of Twitter, I guess.
That's kind of somewhat what you do when you make your bracket, trying to pick your Cinderellas.
True.
A lot of times,
True.
what you do is you're like, oh, this team has a guy. That could be the guy. So
hey,
I'm
Maryland
gonna
had 5 guys. Look how that worked out.
They did. They had Florida on the ropes.
Yeah.
Dang. If their coach wasn't halfway out, we would have had it.
I feel good about that.